It was April 15th, 2019, and for most people that's just tax day. For me, it's the day that everything changed. I was in Knoxville, Tennessee, sitting in the back of an Uber on my way to dinner, and my phone rang. It was my ENT, and I'd been waiting for this call, but I wasn't expecting to be alone in the back of some stranger's car when it came. I answered, and her tone was calm and clinical. Then she said it. "Chad, you have a brain tumor." In that moment, the world around me blurred. Her words kept coming, but all I heard was a distant, muffled noise, like the teacher in Peanuts cartoon. Wah, 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 wah. My mind wasn't on her explanation. It was stuck on one question. How am I going to tell my wife? Before that day, I was someone who thrived on challenges. In 2017, I competed in the first ever U.S. obstacle course racing championships. I was 40 years old and held my own, finishing very well. That race tested every ounce of my physical and mental strength, but I loved every second of it. In 2018, I set my sights on another challenge, a boot camp style fitness competition, but this time I didn't make the cut. For someone like me, used to qualifying, used to pushing through and succeeding, that stung. Instead of taking a step back to reflect, I did what most of us do. I doubled down, I pushed harder. I was determined to prove I still had it. But then the symptoms started. At first, it was just a strange dizziness, like the ground beneath me was shifting. I told myself that I was overtraining. It's just exhaustion. Anything but what it really was. I ignored it and kept going because that's what we do. We tell ourselves we're fine. We push. We ignore the signs. But looking back now, the missed competition, the dizziness, they weren't just random setbacks. They were warnings. My body was trying to tell me something was wrong, but I was so focused on my goals, so determined to keep moving forward, I didn't stop and listen. That mistake led me to a diagnosis I never anticipated, a brain tumor. But it also planted a seed. Those years taught me something crucial. Success isn't just about pushing harder, it's about recovery. It's about focus and balance. At that time, I didn't know it, but those lessons would become the foundation for something bigger. They would inspire the creation of Maxen Health. When the doctor told me I had an acoustic neuroma, it felt surreal. I was someone who prided myself on strength and grit, determination, but now I was facing something I couldn't control, something that wasn't going to go away with more effort or more grit. I remember sitting there thinking, how do I fight this? That question stuck with me, and as I wrestled with it, I realized something. Resilience isn't about being invincible. It's about finding the strength to move forward, even when the path is unclear. It's about recovery and renewal, about showing up again and again and again, no matter what. Those realizations became the foundation for Maxen Health. I wanted to create something that would help others find their strength, physically and mentally. Something that would support people as they face their own obstacles. Just as I was adjusting to this new normal, COVID hit. Suddenly my MRIs, my checkups, everything was delayed. Everything was put on hold. I was living with this silent threat inside me. It was growing and I couldn't even monitor it. Those months were some of the hardest, but they also solidified my commitment to resilience. I realized that health isn't just about the absence of illness. It's about having the energy to show up, the focus to stay sharp, the resilience to keep going. It's about being ready for whatever life throws at you. Those lessons became the heart of Maxen Health. I knew that if I made it through this, I wanted to create something that didn't just help people survive, but thrive. When the world slowly began to reopen, I was finally able to schedule a follow-up MRI. The results were clear. The tumor had grown and surgery was a must. Surgery was scheduled for April 15th, 2021, exactly 2 years to the day after I received that first phone call of the diagnosis in the back of an Uber. That date felt symbolic, like a full circle moment, but it didn't make the risk any less real. I knew the stakes: hearing loss, facial paralysis, or worse. But I also knew this was my path forward. I went into surgery with one thought: I'm leaving this tumor behind. I'd prepared myself for what I thought was coming. I'd accepted the risks, and I was ready to move forward. But as I started to wake up, something felt wrong. My surroundings were hazy and my mind foggy. Then I heard my doctor say, "Time." For a moment, panic set in. I thought, doesn't a doctor only call time when someone dies? Is this it? And then I heard the nurse. She calls out 3:32. That was 8 hours. It was supposed to be a 6-hour surgery, and I thought something went wrong. I'm gone. This is done. But then Amber was there. Amber is my wife, and I don't remember how I got to the ICU, but her face was the first thing I saw, and in that moment, I knew I was alive. The news that followed, though, hit hard. They hadn't found an acoustic neuroma. My tumor was even more rare, a facial nerve hemangioma. It was so rare that removing it would have left me with permanent facial paralysis and complete hearing loss. It was too dangerous, so they had to leave it. That tumor wasn't going anywhere, and it became a permanent part of me. It is a permanent part of me. A reminder that resilience isn't about eliminating challenges. It's about living fully despite them. As I began my recovery, I realized how crucial balance was. Restoration and energy, recovery and focus. That's where the idea for OVRNITE came from. Like many of you, I had heard about this sleep cocktail that was available, but it was expensive, it was complicated, and it was really inconvenient. I thought, why can't there be a simpler solution? OVRNITE became that solution. 2 capsules, 1 custom formula designed for restorative sleep without the complexities and cost. Then came JMPSTRT, and because resilience isn't just about recovery, it's about starting strong, energy, focus, immunity, it's everything you need to power through your day. These aren't private label supplements, they're custom formulas, carefully crafted with proper dosing. We believe in giving your body exactly what it needs. Nothing more, nothing less. Because more isn't always better. Your body will get rid of what it doesn't need. And OVRNITE and JMPSTRT are the AM/PM combination that fuels the willpower to remove challenges and achieve goals. They're about giving you the tools to thrive. This journey isn't just about me. Every one of us has challenges, obstacles, moments that test us, and every one of us has a choice to rise above them. Maxen Health isn't just a brand, it's a community of people who refuse to let life's toughest moments define them. We're here to support each other, inspire each other, and overcome together. If you're ready to take control of your story, to face your challenges head on, and to live fully, join us. Maxen Health is more than just supplements. It's resilience, it's thriving, it's redefining what it means to live your best life. Let's do it together.